The city never sleeps, but tonight it feels empty. The rain hits the glass towers of New York, washing away the memory of a hero the world no longer remembers. In the shadows, one young man walks alone, carrying a secret too heavy for his heart. His name once meant hope. Now no one knows who he is. The screen fades in from black. Raindrops shimmer under flickering streetlights as the camera glides through the empty streets of New York. The sound of thunder echoes in the distance, heavy and cold, as if the city itself is mourning. For a moment there is silence, just the rhythm of rain against concrete and the faint hum of neon signs. Then, a voice breaks through. A calm, somber narration. When the world forgets your name, what do you become? The words carry weight, pressing down on the dark skyline. Quick flashes appear, people walking under umbrellas, busy with their lives, unaware of the figure moving silently among them. Peter Parker. His face is tired, his eyes heavy, but his body moves with quiet purpose. He blends into the crowd now, no longer recognized. No longer the friendly neighborhood hero that once lit up the city's heart. The Marvel Studios logo flickers across the screen, golden letters against stormy skies. As the score swells with deep strings and a haunting choir, we cut to Peter standing in front of a window in a dim apartment, staring out at the world below. The city lights blur through the glass, rain cascading down like endless tears. His hand hovers over a small box resting on the table. Inside, wrapped in worn fabric, lies the mask of Spider-Man. The camera lingers on the mask, its eye lenses reflecting the storm outside. Narration continues. He saved the world, but lost everything. His friends, his love, even his name. Now, he must start again. Peter closes the box with a heavy sigh, turning away from it. The shot follows him as he walks down the narrow hall of his apartment. Every step feels heavier, each moment echoing with the cost of sacrifice. We glimpse pieces of his life, a part-time job flyer pinned to the wall, unopened bills stacked on the counter, and a small notebook where he sketches designs of gadgets, his quiet attempt to rebuild. Outside, a police siren cuts through the night. Peter looks up. His reflection in the window stares back at him, torn between the man he wants to be and the hero he once was. The shot lingers on his expression, tired, alone, yet burning with a flicker of resolve. We cut to the rooftops. The rain pours harder now, painting the city in silver streaks. A dark figure runs across the ledges, chasing down a pair of thieves. For a moment, it looks like Spider-Man, but when the figure lands, it is just Peter in a simple hoodie, no mask, no suit. He fights quickly, efficiently, but when the thieves escape, he stands alone in the rain, breathless and unsure. The world forgot him, but crime never did. Narration whispers, a hero without a name is still a hero. The scene shifts. A slow-motion shot of Peter walking under Times Square's bright billboards. The giant screens show headlines of new rising dangers, images of destruction, news anchors speaking about the city's fragile peace. But no mention of Spider-Man. Not a single face looks his way as he walks. Invisible in the crowd, the score builds low drums, heavy strings, drawing the audience deeper into his loneliness. Then, a final image to close section 1. Peter sits on the edge of a rooftop, the city glowing beneath him. The rain stops, clouds part slightly, and a sliver of moonlight strikes the box beside him. He opens it, staring at the mask once more. His fingers brush the edge of the fabric. For a heartbeat, it feels alive again, whispering to him. But he does not wear it. Not yet. The narration fades with one last line. Every ending is just the beginning of a brand new day. The screen cuts to black. Silence. Then the sound of a single web shoot, sharp and sudden, leading into section 2. The silence of the rooftop fades into the pulse of the city. Morning light breaks over New York, golden rays spilling across skyscrapers and narrow alleys. For most, it's just another day, but for Peter Parker, every sunrise is a reminder that he must live without a name, without a past. The camera follows him as he weaves through the streets. He's dressed simply, hood pulled up, backpack slung over one shoulder. He slips into a corner diner where he works part-time bussing tables. Customers laugh, talk, and scroll through their phones. No one notices him. To them, he is just another face in the crowd, another young man trying to survive in a city that never slows down. Narration overlays softly. When the world forgets you, you must learn to remember yourself. As Peter clears dishes, he overhears news on the diner's television. The reporter's voice is tense. Authorities are investigating a string of violent robberies across Queens. Witnesses describe a masked figure leading the attacks. Operating with precision and brutality, the screen flashes images of shattered storefronts, terrified civilians, and police scrambling to respond. Peter pauses mid-step, eyes narrowing. The city has new predators. We cut to a shadowed alley where one of these robberies unfolds. A group of criminals move swiftly, dressed in tactical black gear. Their leader, a tall figure with glowing blue eyes beneath a mask, commands them with chilling calm. He moves like a ghost, efficient and merciless. This is no random crime, it's organized, planned. Something darker is rising beneath the city's surface. Back at the diner, Peter grips a coffee pot so tightly his knuckles whiten. His instincts scream to act, but the truth weighs him down. No one knows Spider-Man anymore. If he intervenes, who would believe him? Who would follow a ghost? The screen shifts to a college campus, where we finally meet Sadie Sink's character. She bursts through the library doors, fiery red hair catching the sunlight. She's sharp, independent, and carries herself with quiet strength. She notices Peter, who sits alone in the corner, sketching designs in his notebook. She approaches, curious. Her voice breaks the silence. "You always sit alone." "Why?" Peter glances up, caught off guard. He stumbles for words but offers a small smile. Their exchange is simple, but charged. In her, he sees someone who might see him for more than a ghost. Their connection is subtle, not forced to, lonely souls orbiting each other in the chaos of the city, cut to quick flashes. Peter walking her home through crowded streets. Her laughing as they share stories under streetlights. A moment where she spots bruises on his hand. Her smile fading as questions rise. Narration whispers over these images. Even in the darkest days, someone will always bring the light. But light is fragile. The montage shifts into chaos. The masked gang strikes again, this time with fire and fury. Explosions rock a subway station. Civilians scream, scattering in panic. Police are overwhelmed, powerless to stop the wave of destruction. The gang's leader steps into frame, removing his mask halfway, revealing cold, calculating eyes. His voice is low, cruel. This city was built on lies. Tonight we burn its heroes. The music shifts, fast percussion, pulsing strings as the trailer picks up pace. Peter watches the destruction unfold from a distance. His jaw tightens. He feels the pull, the ache of responsibility. In his apartment, he paces staring at the Spider-Man mask on his desk. His hand hovers over it again, trembling. Suddenly, a knock at his door. He opens it to find Sadie's character standing there, shaken but determined. She's seen the chaos. She knows something about him now, even if she can't explain it. Her words are steady, but filled with urgency. The world may have forgotten Spider-Man, but I haven't. The line lands heavy. Peter's eyes widen, torn between fear and hope. The mask sits between them, gleaming under the dim light. The narration rises once more. Louder now, layered over quick shots of chaos, pain, and resolve. The city cries out for a hero. But before he can save it, he must save himself. The section ends with a powerful visual. Peter gripping the mask tightly, pulling it close to his chest. His reflection in the cracked window stares back at him not as Peter Parker, but as Spider-Man. Lightning flashes across the sky, splitting the darkness as the screen cuts to black. A heartbeat of silence follows. Then the faint sound of webbing shooting across the night, asterisk, the sound of rain fades. In its place, the low thrum of drums builds, like a heartbeat echoing through the darkness. The screen flickers with images of Peter Parker staring at the Spider-Man mask. His fingers curl around it, knuckles white. Torn between fear and destiny, narration cuts in, solemn and heavy. A hero is not the mask he wears, but the choices he makes. The trailer bursts into life. We see Peter suited up once again, swinging through the skyline for the first time since the world forgot his name. His movements are hesitant, clumsy at first, like someone relearning how to breathe. But as he glides between towers, the city rushes back to him. The wind, the speed, the freedom. For a moment he feels alive again, then the music shifts darker, sharper. The new villain's presence looms. We see him orchestrating chaos from the shadows, directing his gang with precision. Explosions tear through a crowded marketplace. Subway tunnels collapse. The masked leader's voice echoes like a curse. Spider-Man is a myth. And myths are meant to die. Quick shots flood the screen, Spider-Man swinging into collapsing buildings, pulling civilians from rubble. Police radio screaming his name, confused, unsure if the hero they thought was gone has returned. Sadie Sink's character running through the smoke, her voice trembling as she shouts, "Peter!" Peter fights harder than ever before, but his battle is not just against villains. It is against himself. Each punch, each web, each save brings memories of what he lost. MJ's fading smile, Ned's forgotten friendship, the sacrifices that tore his life apart. The weight crushes him. We see him perched high above the city, rain soaking his mask. He rips it off, breathing hard, whispering to himself, "I can't do this anymore." Not alone, the narration sharpens, but even alone. He must stand. The screen ignites with a flurry of action. Spider-Man collides with the masked leader in a violent rooftop battle, sparks flying as steel clashes against webbing. The villain moves with uncanny speed, each strike calculated. Peter struggles to keep up. He is thrown across the rooftop, crashing into the side of a water tower. His groan is drowned out by the villain's cold laughter, but the conflict is more than physical. Cut to Sadie, Sink's character in a quiet, broken moment. She looks at Peter, bloodied but unmasked, finally seeing the truth. Her voice is soft, steady, almost breaking. "You're not just Spider-Man. You're Peter, and that's enough." The music swells, strings rising, percussion thundering as the montage intensifies, Spider-Man sprinting across collapsing bridges. Civilians reaching for his hand as he pulls them to safety. Sadie's character standing by his side, refusing to run. Flames consuming the skyline, helicopters circling above. The villain's voice roars over the chaos. "This city was built on lies, and I will tear it down, brick by brick." The trailer cuts to black for a single breath, silence. Then dash boom. An explosion lights up the night sky. Spider-Man leaps through the fire, silhouetted against the blaze. His new suit revealed in flashes of molten light and steel webbing. The design is sleeker, stronger, sharper, a symbol not just of survival, but rebirth. Narration pierces the silence, hopeful now. The world may not know his name, but they will remember his courage. The final shots come fast and furious. Spider-Man diving from a skyscraper, webs snapping out in slow motion. A spinning kick against the villain, sparks flying. Sadie Sink's character dangling from a collapsing crane, Peter's scream echoing as he swings to save her. The villain raising a deadly weapon, aimed at the city's heart. The music hits its peak, an orchestra of strings and drums, before cutting suddenly into silence as Peter whispers one last line, his voice trembling but resolute. "If the world needs Spider-Man, then I will be Spider-Man." The screen fades to black. Heavy breathing lingers in the background. Then, a single sound thwip, the snap of a web-shooter. The sound of rushing wind fills the silence. The camera soars above New York, its skyline glowing against a stormy sky. Thunder cracks, lightning forks across the clouds, and in the flash, we see Spider-Man silhouetted against the storm, mask glistening with rain. His voice echoes, quiet but resolute. "This city is my responsibility." The trailer erupts. An orchestra of pounding drums and roaring horns kicks in as the screen explodes with images of chaos, fire tearing through downtown streets. Civilians running as debris rains from collapsing buildings. The villain standing tall on a skyscraper edge, arms spread, chaos burning behind him. His voice pierces the chaos, cruel and commanding. "The age of Spider-Man ends tonight." We cut sharply. Spider-Man launches himself across the skyline, swinging faster, harder, more desperate than ever before. Every webline snaps into place with explosive force, every leap carrying him closer to the heart of the battle. Quick montage bursts across the screen, a collapsing bridge, children trapped as cars tumble into the river. Spider-Man dives, catching a car mid-fall with his web, straining as water crashes beneath him. The villain's masked soldiers swarming like shadows, Spider-Man spinning in mid-air, webbing half a dozen at once before slamming them into the pavement. Sadie Sink's character sprinting through a shattered subway tunnel, her voice calling Peter's name. Desperation cutting through the roar of destruction. The score sharpens high strings, weaving tension before, cutting to a quiet, emotional beat. We see Peter on his knees, mask cracked, blood seeping down his face. The villain towers over him, weapon raised. For a moment, Spider-Man looks broken, defeated. His head hangs low. Then her voice, Sadie Sink's character, steps forward, defiant, eyes blazing. "You're wrong. He's not just a hero. He's hope. And you'll never kill that," the villain sneers, ready to strike, but the music shifts. Slow at first, then surging into a thunderous crescendo as Peter rises, mask torn but resolve unshaken. He grips the weapon mid-swing, webbing it to pieces in one explosive motion. Narration thunders, bold and unyielding. Every ending is the start of a brand new day. The final action montage ignites. Rapid and breathtaking, Spider-Man vaulting off a burning helicopter, web shooting in all directions. The villain and Spider-Man clashing mid-air, sparks flying as their blows shake the skyline. A massive explosion ripping through a tower, Spider-Man shielding civilians with his body as debris crashes down. A desperate mid-air rescue, Peter diving at full speed, webbing Sadie Sink's character as she falls, catching her inches above the ground. The villain screaming as Spider-Man slams him into the side of a skyscraper. Glass shattering into the night, the music reaches its peak, then falls silent. One last slow-motion shot. Spider-Man perched on a lamppost at dawn. The city is battered but standing. Smoke drifts in the distance, sirens wail faintly, but the light of sunrise breaks through the clouds. His mask is torn, his suit scorched, but his stance is strong. He looks out over the city, and beneath the mask, his voice trembles with quiet resolve. It's a brand new day. The screen cuts to black. The title card slams across the screen in bold letters. Spider-Man. Brand new day coming 2026, a beat of silence. Then a stinger scene. Peter Parker, back in his small apartment, tries to make breakfast. The smoke alarm blares as the toaster catches fire. He waves smoke away frantically, muttering, "Great, save the city." Lose the toast. The sound of a web shooter snaps as he yanks the toaster out the window. Cut to the Marvel Studios logo and fade to black.